Okay, so Marvel Rivals. This is one of the easier platinums I've gotten at least. Took about 30 to 40 hours. It was just multiplayer gameplay too. There's no campaign. There's no real solo missions. All of it's going to be either quick play, conquest, or whatever arcade mode you choose. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of run down the trophies. I'm going to start with the bronze, go into silver, and then talk about the gold trophies at the very end. And yeah, so overall, it was a fun platinum. You can, if you have friends that play this game, it should be pretty easy to get if you just look at the trophies and then go for them. I do. I think there is some skill involved, obviously, but most players should be able to get a lot of these if you just try. Yeah, so we'll get right into the trophies. Oh, and as for the format for this review, I'm going to rate both the difficulty and the enjoyment at the very end. So stay tuned for that. All right, so starting with the bronze trophies, this first one we might have Fuxi. This is the Iron Fist one. You have to land 3 KOs using a single use of Living Chi. I think this one's pretty easy. Iron Fist, he's squishy, he's kind of a glass cannon, but if you can find like 3 enemies that are like even a little weak, you should just be able to run through them, especially if you get behind the team. That wasn't too bad. Next one would be Assemble, team up with a friend for a match. This one's kind of weird just because I wasn't used to having like the in-game friend system as well as like the PSN. I think you have to do both for those and then invite them, which is kind of weird, but yeah, it's not that difficult, obviously. And then the Onslaught land a 3 player KO streak. This one is basically achievable through all these like a bunch of other trophies. So you're gonna end up getting this if you go for the platinum. It's also just really easy to get, especially if you use an ultimate like Scarlet Witch or someone that's pretty good. Yeah, that one's not too bad. And then we have the You Do You achievement, which is use a customizable wheel once. Also really easy. You just literally press left on the D-pad. Thumbs up achievement for 1 player. This one also really easy. Master modes, complete 1 arcade match. They don't make this one clear at all. Like there's no indication that it's really an arcade match, except if you look on the top right, there's a little strip. But like I thought Conquest, I was like, oh, this can't be arcade, and then apparently it was. So there you go. And then we start getting to the pretty difficult ones here. Victory in Bloom. This was the Mantis one. You have to assist allies in achieving a team wipe. I think this was probably one of the hardest ones for the entire platinum. You have to kind of spam Mantis's L1 and R1 abilities, so you're constantly healing, constantly inspiring, hoping that someone gets like a team wipe for you, or you can just try and kill them yourself, but that's pretty difficult. What I think the way I did it, it's in the video. I did like a mixture of killing the KOing like 2 guys, and then I inspired the Scarlet Witch, and then she kind of took out the rest. I think if you have Scarlet Witch on your team, it makes it easier, but it's still not that easy an achievement. I've heard people take like 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours on this, but for me, I think I got in like 3 or 4 games. This is kind of luck based. It's same with the Cloak and Dagger one. Yeah, this one's probably second hardest, I'd say, in the platinum. All right, let's move on. So we have the Justice for All achievement. This is the Captain America one, which is land 3 KOs with a single use of Freedom Charge. This one's also one of the more difficult ones. Captain America, I don't think is a great character, even if you kind of learn how to use him, like I tried to do. I think there's better like tanks slash like bruiser characters out there. And this achievement was, I think, particularly hard because you don't really get a damage increase for the Freedom Charge when you use his ultimate ability. I think you're just a bit faster and the movement's better. I didn't really notice a damage increase, so you're basically just killing, like getting a triple kill pretty much. And it has to be in pretty close time period. So it's another one of those you have to find like a group of really weak enemies and just kind of use it, hope for the best. This one took me a couple good matches, probably like 5 or 6 to actually get. You're gonna want to get like a bad lobby too. That's kind of prereq for some of these. You need some bad players to play against, and then it makes it a lot easier. All right, let's move on. Go get him Guardians as Rocket Raccoon revive Guardians of the Galaxy members 5 times. I think this one, if you know what you're doing, is not too bad. Or if you have a friend that can be like a Guardian, like Groot or someone, it makes it a lot easier. Because you just follow one around, and then if they look like they're about to die, you just hit Raccoon's revival ability, and it should work out. Yeah, this should take like 2 or 3 matches at most if you're really trying for it, and if you have Guardians on your team. It was one of the ones I put off for later, but it wasn't too bad to get. All right, so Terror of the Ten Realms. I can't say that. As Hela land a 3-player KO streak in Yigasgard. So this one is one of the ones where you have to wait for a specific map, Yigasgard Path. These ones I found to take a while, just because the Black Panther one for me, I could not get that map for life. I mean, when I was going for it, and like before I was even going for it, I got like a million times, but when I started going for that achievement, it took so long. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, and this one as well. Whenever you want the map, it's not going to give it to you. So I'd say whenever you see that map, if you're going for the platinum, just use Hela. It's the best way to get this. And then, yeah, use your ultimate and hope for the best. Find like a group of 3 enemies. Yeah, this one took a little bit. And then the Symphony of Light and Dark. This is the Cloak and Dagger one I was talking about. This one is pretty difficult. This one's, I think, the hardest one, I'd say, in the entire platinum. Just because you don't have, like, the thing with Mantis you get is Inspire and Heals. And with Symphony of Light and Dark and Cloak and Dagger, you don't really get the same amount of healing power, and the cooldowns are longer. So if you heal someone and then, like, later on they get, like a team wipe, yeah, it doesn't matter because you can't really spam it. So if they get it later on, you don't get the assist for the team wipe, and you don't get the achievement or the trophy. And the cooldowns for the heals on Cloak and Dagger are much longer than Mantis's, like L1, R1. So, yeah, for this one, what I did to get lucky, found some bad players to play against, and then I kind of just spammed just a regular heal, like her R2. And I got a couple kills, and then I got lucky. My teammates finished off the last 2. It was a convoy game, so all the team was like on the convoy. I killed 2. It's in the video, and then my teammates helped and kind of took out the rest. This one's more luck based, much more luck based than the Mantis one. So I'd say start going for this one like right away if you really want the platinum. Yeah, this one can be pretty hard. Demon's Roar as Magic land 3 kills with a single transformation in the Dark Child. This one's not too bad just because Magic's ultimate ability is pretty good. She does a decent amount of damage, and she moves pretty quickly. So as long as you don't just die immediately to like a tank or someone, you should be able to get this within like a game or 2. Not too bad. And then Multiverse Tour. Bleh, I can't say that. As Luna Snow complete a match on 5 maps with different themes. This one's literally you just pick Luna Snow on 5 different maps and you get the trophy. It's not really any skill involved in this one. Pretty easy. Deadly Bites as Black Widow land 3 kills with critical hits in a single match. I know people struggle with this one, but I have a lengthy Call of Duty background. So this one wasn't too bad for me because it's literally, if you aim down sights, it's just a regular sniper. You just look for the head and you fire. Yeah, so I mean, when I play as Black Widow, I get like at least 5 of these a match. But yeah, I'd say get good as Black Widow if you're struggling with this one. Know how to kind of gauge where the enemy's going to be. It's also easy on like flying targets because these tend to stay in the same spot. Yeah, this one is pretty easy for me. Next would be Flawless Design as Iron Man hit 4 enemies with a single use of Invincible Pulse Cannon. This one, so the range on Iron Man's ultimate is, if you fly up high, it's pretty decent. You just have to find 4 enemies that are in kind of grouped up. I think I did it around their spawn area. It's not too bad. You don't have to kill them, which is good. Some of these you have to actually KO them. You don't with this one, so that makes it a lot easier. Let's move on. Vicious Finds as Groot imprisoned 4 enemies with a single use of Strangling Prison. So this one you have to get up close. So this one I think I got on domination, or you can do it for a convoy, but I think it's easier on domination. I might have said that in the video. Yeah, you basically when enemies are grouped up, you have to just use ultimate, and you should get four of them if there are four there. The radius isn't that good, so you have to make sure you're like pretty much right next to them. But this one didn't take that long for me. And then let's go Way of the Butterfly. Yeah, so this one's Psylocke's trophy. Contest the missionary for 60 seconds in single match. So Psylocke has an ability where she goes invisible, and that's what I kind of use for this. And as it's like so you have to contest it. You can't just stay on the missionary for 60 seconds and get this achievement. So you have to make sure it's kind of a back and forth match. And then as soon as you see an enemy on the point, you kind of just stay there. That's what I did. And then if they attack you, Psylocke's fast, so she can kind of run around for a little bit and then make your way back there, get heals, come back. If you're going for it, it's not that hard of an achievement, I don't think. Especially if you do like domination, not like a convoy. I don't even know if you can get this one in convoy, but yeah, I'd say domination definitely. If you're going for it, it shouldn't be too bad. Spider Sense Tingling. A Spider-Man detect an enemy with Spider Sense and land a winning counterattack. As soon as I figured out how Spider-Man kind of played, this one wasn't too bad. He's kind of hard to get down. His swinging is much different than it is in the Insomniac games, I think, obviously. So as long as you have his character down, you know, like when the Spider Sense is going off, he has the little squiggly lines, and then you can immediately just attack whoever triggered that, and you should get it pretty easily. Family Ties as Adam Warlock forges soul bond with 3 allies. This one took a while for me just because I didn't have a situation where people pick 3 guardians often. The second I did, though, I knew this was an achievement, so I just picked Adam Warlock. It actually happened mid-game for me, so I checked the scoreboard. I'm like, wait, we have 3 guardians in this game? It was like Rocket, Groot, and then Mantis. So I'm like, all right, I'm being Warlock, and that's how I got it. You have to keep your eye out for this one, or it could take forever. Aquatic Assault as Namor summon monster spawn to land 10 KOs in a single game. This one was interesting. This one I think was one of the more difficult ones too, because you have to weaken enemies and then you can't kill them on accident. And this happened many times where I'm like, okay, let me weaken him. He gets like 1 HP, and then someone else kills him. The monsters I spawn, like the little squids, you do the pellets, they don't get any attacks, and then I'm getting killed by someone else. That can happen a lot, so I'd make sure that the squids are actually getting the kills. That's what probably takes the longest, and it's 10 KOs in a single game, which is pretty difficult. I'd say this one's up there, probably top 3 difficult trophies in this game. All right, so Rage Uncaged as Wolverine land 3 kills with a single use of Last Stand. This one pretty easily. It is kind of rare on PSN profiles, 10%, but I didn't really have any trouble with this one just because Wolverine's ultimate ability I think is pretty good. He gets a lot more powerful, and it's a lot easier to KO people. You just have to find a group of like 3 enemies that they aren't really weak, but like their health is closer to halfway, maybe like 75%. You can still kind of get them as long as they're not like all tanks. Convoy mission is good for this. Domination. I didn't have any trouble with this one. No More Mutants as Scarlet Witch take down mutant enemies 10 times. This one you have to kind of be on the lookouts, but if you play Scarlet Witch a lot, you're just going to get this just without even trying. So what I did, I just waited for at least when I saw like 2 mutant enemies on the enemy team, I just picked Scarlet Witch and I got it pretty easily. Arms Race as Winter Soldier land 3 KOs with a single use of Kraken Impact. This one also pretty difficult for me, just because Winter Soldier is not strong and his ultimate ability kind of sucks. You have to find like 3 really weak enemies to actually get this, and they have to be close to each other, and they can't kill you while you're using the Kraken Impact. And you all are vulnerable to damage while you're using it, so it's pretty difficult. Especially like when you kill one land, there's one right next to you. It's like, oh, you have to trust he's not going to just take you out before you can use it again. So yeah, this one difficult for me. Watch Your Step as Penny Parker blasts 3 enemies with a single use of Arachnomine. I don't think this one is too hard. Yeah, I think Penny Parker, she gets a lot of armor when she uses her ultimate ability. That makes this one a lot easier, so you're not going to get like taken out immediately. All right, let's move on. Vengeance from Milano as Star-Lord, land 3 KOs with assist from Guardians of the Galaxy. Ooh, so this one you have to kind of fall around the Guardians and then kind of shoot, or like steal their kills pretty much. You have to KO enemies while they already shot them pretty much. I did Groot and Mantis whenever I saw them on the team. I just followed them around. This is one of the first ones I got. If you're going for it, it's not too difficult, and if you know like how to spot Guardians on your team, it should be fine. Grip of Hunger as Venom snare 4 enemies with a single use of cellular corrosion. This one's similar to the Groot one. I think they have the same range. So you just have to find 4 enemies close, like tight corridors or in their spawn, something of that nature. And that's it for the bronze trophies. Let's move on to the silver. The first silver trophy is Smoke Screen. As Punisher, land 3 KOs amidst a smoke of Scourge Grenade in a single game. This one, pretty freaking difficult. I'd say probably 3 or 4 ranked hardest trophy on this list. Just because the nature of what you have to do, you can't, if you kill someone with a smoke grenade, it doesn't count for the achievement. So that's the thing that makes it hard. So you can't just weaken them and then shoot it at them, get the kill. What you have to do, you have to shoot it at their feet pretty much, make sure you don't kill them with it, and then take them out with like your shotgun or Punisher's assault rifle. So that's a thing that makes this trophy pretty hard. Because right when you shoot at their feet, they have a chance to like KO you first, and that's usually what happens. So you have to find someone who's not good, or you have to find an enemy that you're kind of behind and they don't know you're behind them. I think the way I did it in the video was I was like weakening them pretty heavily with my shotgun, and then I shoot at their feet, and then if they don't kill me, I get the kill. They're in the smoke, it counts. But a lot of times before that video, I had to I just died to them shooting me after I shoot the smoke screen. So yeah, this one's pretty difficult. It's kind of fun though because I like playing as Punisher, so it wasn't like the most draining experience, but pretty difficult. Next one, To Me My X-Men as Storm assists X-Men members 10 times. This one is similar to one of the bronze ones. You basically just have to follow around X-Men members, and then I think you just need assist. I don't think you need the KO. I have to double check that. So you basically just have to get them weak and then have like Wolverine or someone finish them off. If you see X-Men players on your team, you can just pick Storm and you should get this one eventually. It's not too bad. Right, God of Treachery as Loki, land 1 KO from stabbing from behind. So this one you don't actually have to land the KO from stabbing from behind, which is good because that would make this probably a million times harder, and it'd probably be the hardest one on this list. But since Loki has the ability to make him invisible, you just got to go behind someone, hit him with the stab attack, which is you just press down on the right thumbstick, and then you hit him with the stab, and then you can just kill him with your staff, which is what I did in the video. That makes it a lot easier. If you actually had to stab him from behind, the stab doesn't do that much damage, so it'd be pretty difficult. But his staff does a decent amount, so you could just find someone squishy, slap him from behind, and just take him out with the staff. Wasn't too bad. West Coast Best Coast as Hawkeye partner with the Avengers land 10 KOs. This one's not too bad. You just have to have Avengers on your team and then pick Hawkeye. And I can't remember, I think you have to be Hawkeye and land the KOs with Hawkeye. So anytime you have Iron Man uses his rockets, you can just pick them off with Hawkeye. It's not a one game either, so you can span this out for multiple games. That's what makes this one easier than a lot of these other ones. It's not a single game one. Yeah, so let's move on. Divine Justice as Thor strike down 4 enemies with the single use of God of Thunder. And this one, it would have been harder if the lightning strike, or if the lightning buildup didn't count as you hitting the enemy. Because what you can do, you can find 4 enemies around you, that are like kind of in range for the actual lightning buildup before you use the ultimate. And if you hit anyone with those and then you use the ultimate, you can just pick them off as Thor right after, and you still get the trophy, which makes it a lot easier. And then King of the Dead as Black Panther landed 3-player KO streak in the map Hall of Dajala. This one took probably the longest for me, just because I used to get that map a lot, but then right when I started going for this achievement, I ended up like just never getting the map. It took me like 10 games to even get this map, and then when I did, I was like, Black Panther is not a great character, so the 3-player KO streak is like, it was pretty difficult. You have to get Black Panther, I think, down to a T. So what I recommend doing for this one is playing as Black Panther a couple games beforehand, just to get used to him and really get down his abilities. And then right when you get this map, you should be ready, like, okay, I know what to do now. And then use his ultimate, and then it resets his cooldown in his R1. You can just kind of spam that. You also have to get lucky too, because his ultimate doesn't do much damage and his R1 ability doesn't do much damage. So you have to find weak enemies and enemies that won't kill you right away after using the ultimate. Yeah, so this one pretty difficult. It can take forever if you don't get lucky with the map too. Yeah. And then let's move on. Inevitable win 100 matches. This one you can just spam conquest if you have like 20 matches left after doing all the trophies. Conquests are the quickest matches, I believe, so you should be able to get this one. It's just mindless, just make sure your team wins it. And then Homo Superior as Magneto assists mutant allies 10 times. For this one, you just gotta find X-Men, and then I'm not sure if this is the one where you need to get the KO or just assist. I'm pretty sure just assist, so you just gotta use your R2 ability on enemies that X-Men are fighting, and you should be able to get this. And it's not in a single game either, which is nice. And then Punishment of the Moon as Moon Knight hit 4 enemies with a single use of the Hand of Khonshu. This one is really easy if you play Domination. That's how I did it, I think. You just have to find a point where all 4 enemies are on the Domination point and just use this. It has a pretty good range, so you should be able to hit 4 pretty easily. Snack Attack as Jeff the Shark swallow 4 enemies with a single use of It's Jeff. People say it counts if you swallow teammates with this too. I'm not sure about that, but 4 enemies with this ability is not too bad, especially on Convoy when they all kind of group up around the Convoy. Its range is pretty decent. I ended up swallowing, I think, the entire enemy team when I tried this, so you should be able to get this one. Perilous Portal as Doctor Strange land 1 train KO with the portal. Okay, this one pretty difficult before I knew how to do it. I was just trying to wait till an enemy jump through and like kill him right away and see if that counted. But the way to do this is you find a spot like outside the map where if you fall you die, and then you place the first portal there, and then you place, this has to be like at the start of the match usually, or you can do a mid-match, which is what I did in the video. And then you place a second portal in front of their spawn or where they're kind of fighting, and then eventually an enemy will probably jump through and then die because the end of the portal is off the map. So that's the easiest way to do it. That's kind of how I did it. Their enemies are keen to the spawn portal trap now, so I think you have to do it while they're fighting in like a busy area, so then someone just jumps through it and dies. That's probably the best way to get it. But yeah, that one's pretty difficult, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, let's move on to the gold trophies. Alright, time for the gold trophies. Those tiny claws as Squirrel Girl land 3 KOs with a single use of Unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami. I think this one's a lot easier than people make it out to be. When I play as Black Widow, that's my main, I kind of get killed by this all the time. You just have to, because the squirrels bounce off the walls like multiple times. So if you get 3 KOs on like squishy, weaker enemies, it shouldn't be too difficult. Especially if they're all grouped up on the domination point or by the convoy, it's gonna bounce off a million walls and probably take out a couple. Also, if you hit the enemies with the ability before it touches the wall, and then you just finish off those enemies, like you don't have to KO them if it just hits them before it hits the wall, and then you KO them with her bombs or whatever she uses. it'll still count for the achievement. So there's multiple ways to get this. You don't have to get every kill from the actual ultimate ability, which is nice. Yeah, so that one for gold, I think that one's relatively easy. There's a couple others I would have put in gold besides this one, especially the Mantis and the Cloak and Dagger ones, as well as the Doctor Strange one should be a gold. Yeah, let's move on. Rising Star reach level 20. This will come naturally if you just go for these trophies. I think I'm 25 right now after the platinum. Yeah, it's just not too hard. And then the last gold trophy, Smart is a new smash. As Bruce Banner land 1 KO within 3 seconds of calming down from Hulk to Banner. This one, a lot of my friends just got by playing as Hulk. Like it's gonna happen eventually because when you turn from Hulk back into Bruce Banner, that means there's enemies nearby, and you're getting attacked. So there's gonna be a situation where one of them is almost dead, and you're as Banner. You play as Banner, and then you can just shoot him with your laser gun, or use your L2 ability, which is what I ended up doing. It's a little bomb. It doesn't do much damage, but it kind of throws the enemies off, and you can get the kill that way. That's probably the best way to do it. And then yeah, that's the platinum. Let me go into the ratings. Okay, we'll start with the difficulty rating. I rate this one a 3 out of 10. It is one of my probably easiest platinums. It didn't take that long, and the trophies themselves were not that difficult. I didn't spend like multiple hours on any one trophy really. I know some people that did, but if you know these characters, if you've played this game before, if you played other hero shooters or just shooters in general, it shouldn't come relatively easily. Yeah, this platinum is not hard. As long as you look at the trophies, you know what they are, you know what to look out for. Like, you know the certain maps you have to play certain characters of. It's going to be really easy platinum overall. And then we go to my enjoyment rating. For enjoyment, I rate this an 8 out of 10 platinum. That's just because I like this game a lot. It's really fun to play with friends. It's fun to play solo. It's a good podcast game. You can just put on something in the background and play it while you're looking for these trophies. It's also playing as each character. You get a sense of how the game works and what characters are good in what situations. Yeah, and it kind of, what the platinum does, it teaches you how to play each character. So by the end of this, you're going to be really familiar with any character. And if you're playing maybe competitive after you get the platinum, you're going to be just fine using any of these characters pretty much. And going through the characters and getting these special achievements were pretty fun. So 8 out of 10. And yeah, that's it for the video, guys. It's fun platinum. If you enjoyed the content, if you enjoyed the guide, if you want to see more of these, please leave a like, please subscribe. My next platinum review is going to be Dragon's Dogma 2, so look out for that.